He kōna ipurangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Nau mai, hara mai. Welcome to In Case You Missed It. Ko tāne tōku ingoa. I hope you've had a good week. Time to tahuna te ahi to ignite the fire and empower you with knowledge. Let's take a quick look at what's been going on here in Aotearoa and around the globe. The Australian government announced that from July 1st, New Zealanders who have lived in Australia for 4 years and meet the standard criteria will be entitled to Australian citizenship, allowing them to access services and benefits.
This is a personal issue for many Kiwis. Most of us know someone who's moved across the Tasman. They work hard, they pay their taxes, and they deserve a fair go.
And Kiwi kids born in Australia will also become citizens at birth instead of having to wait until they turn 10. In New York, Ed Sheeran turned up at Manhattan's federal court this week for his copyright infringement trial. Sheeran is being sued by one of the writers of Marvin Gaye's hit track, Let's Get It On, who was claiming that Sheeran's track Thinking Out Loud has copied the Marvin Gaye original. Central City roads on Te Whanganui Ātara were brought to a standstill again this week when they were blocked by a climate change protest group. The group, Restore Passenger Rail, has carried out a string of protests in recent weeks, causing frustration and delays for those heading to work and school. The group wants to see more and cheaper passenger train services. The Hawke's Bay was given a bit of a scare this week with a couple of big earthquakes. The quakes didn't cause any major damage, but are a reminder we all need to know what to do in case of a big shake. And new research by Auckland University shows ancient Māori building techniques stand up really well in large earthquakes. The technique, mimiro, uses carving skills to interlock timber and then ropes to lash the timber together to give it more strength. These old skills are being used right now to rebuild an historic wharenui in the Bay of Plenty. Tino pai rawatu. On April the 27th, 1806, records show that Moihanga of Ngāpuhi became the very first Māori to travel to England. He boarded a whaling ship from the Bay of Islands bound for England, and upon arrival in London, he was grossed out by the living conditions. Less than a year later, Moihanga was finally back home with some colourful and smelly stories for the whānau. On to the topic of money now, a subject that we all find ourselves talking about on a regular basis. But how much do you know about cryptocurrency? Check this out.
Cryptocurrency is used to pay for things. It's an alternative to traditional money. Unlike money, crypto is purely digital or virtual, so you can't hold it in your hands like coins and cash.
There are a few different cryptocurrencies, but the most popular is called Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is worth tens of thousands of dollars. Bitcoin was invented in 2008 by a mysterious person who called themselves Satoshi Nakamoto. That's not their real name. The person or persons who created Bitcoin have actually never revealed themselves.
Bitcoin is controlled by everyone that owns some Bitcoin via a big electronic book called a ledger. This ledger is known as a blockchain. The blockchain holds all the information about the movements of Bitcoin and is backed up on everyone's computers. Cryptocurrency can be bought or it can be created using a process called mining, which needs powerful computers to solve hard math problems that then make digital currency. Some people don't like cryptocurrency because the powerful computers you need to make it are not good for the planet.
In 2013, when James Howells, a British IT worker, threw out his old laptop hard drive, he realised afterwards he'd thrown away about 7,500 bitcoins worth 400 million New Zealand dollars. He now wants to dig up his local rubbish tip in the hope of finding the old drive.
So will cryptocurrency become the way we buy things in the future?
Well, we just don't know. But if it does, just remember to never throw out an old hard drive without checking it first, because you could be throwing away millions of dollars. Unlucky James. I feel your pain. I once lost $20 and I am still recovering. Anyway, Mattel, the maker of Barbie, is set to launch its first ever doll with Down syndrome. The product will allow even more children to find a doll that represents them, and it will also enable kids to tell different stories through play. Barbie worked closely with the National Down Syndrome Society in the US in order to develop the doll, which features a new face and body sculpt that's more illustrative of females with the genetic disorder. Ka rawe. Well, that is in case you missed it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week at the same time. Have an awesome weekend.